Nearly 1.5 million Americans live with lupus. May is Lupus Awareness Month, and advocates use it to raise awareness about the autoimmune disease that many people still have difficulty understanding. Joining me now is Lupus Warrior, Ambassador and North Florida Committee Walk member Jeanette Egan. And for those who don't know, a lupus warrior is someone who has a lupus diagnosis. Thank you so much for joining us, Jeanette.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, as a lupus warrior myself, I know all too well what it's like to live with the diagnosis. But for those who don't know, what is lupus?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease where normally your immune system, it fights viruses, infections to try and make you better. Lupus actually attacks your organs, and it can attack your skin, your brain, your heart, your kidneys, anything. Pretty much. We don't know why you get lupus. There are some genetic factors, but it could be caused by medications or something that just happens in the environment.
Yes, and many people say that it's something where you just have to solve this cruel mystery. But who is at risk for having lupus?
Primarily, it's 9 out of 10 people are women. And especially people with ethnic backgrounds like African Americans, Hispanic. But in my family, we actually have my dad and one of my sons, and now another son is going to the rheumatologist, and they're looking at him for lupus as well. So it does run in children, men, women, but primarily women.
And can you talk about the health disparities of people living with lupus? Because I know that that's a big point that a lot of people want to make known.
Yeah, for myself, I had a very successful career, and one day I woke up and I had lupus. I was in extreme pain. It affected my joints. It attacked my heart. I needed open heart surgery, and I'm not able to go back to work. And so, that affected our entire family. And the medications you have to pay for are very expensive, and it takes time to figure out which medicines will work. Over the last, I think 5-6 years, we finally have found medications that were made just for lupus. But in the past, they had to use anti-malarial drugs, cancer-treating drugs, and steroids.
And what are some common myths about lupus? Because we want to get all of that out of the way. There are a lot of misconceptions about people living with lupus, so let's just knock out some of those myths right now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know what lupus is. There are over 5 million people in the world living with lupus right now, as far as we know. Also, that it can be passed on from one person to another, and it's contagious. That is not something that is contagious. Like when you get the sores on your skin, people sometimes try to stay away from you, but it's not contagious whatsoever.
Right, and it's definitely important to make sure people are aware of those myths, and there are several more, but those are a lot of the main ones that people should know about. But what can people do to get involved and raise awareness about this disease?
Well, I think just talking right now and letting people know about lupus, and we do have the Lupus Foundation of America, who is here to answer all questions, help you find doctors, help you get a diagnosis. They have been such a support for myself and my family, and they also help people in your family learn more about how to help you and how to change your life so that you can cope with these things, because it is a financial burden for people with lupus. And you do have days that you just have to sleep because you were so exhausted from your fighting itself.
Exactly. A lot of people think that, someone may be lazy or that they're just trying to get enough sleep and they just don't want to do anything. But that's definitely not the case. So it definitely depends on the person as far as how serious lupus cases can be.
Yeah. And people can go to lupus.org and find your state, your area. There's a lupus walk coming in October here in Jacksonville at Riverside Arts Market. And we'd love to have as many people there as possible to spread awareness and help raise money so that we can find a cure and get better testing for lupus.
And thank you so much, Jeanette, for sharing this important information. And of course, we'll have more information about lupus and what you need to know at our website at news4jax.com. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.